Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dr. Leyla. I am a family physician, and I am 62 years old. For more than 30 years, I have cared for patients and their families. I have spent my life helping people stay healthy. But today, I want to talk about something I once ignored myself: retirement planning. When I was your age, retirement sounded very far away. I thought it was something older people worried about. I thought, first I will finish school, then I will build my career, then I will make money, then I will start saving. I believed I had plenty of time, but life becomes busy. There are bills, rent, car payments, unexpected expenses, and suddenly years begin moving very quickly. As a doctor, I always tell patients that prevention works better than treatment. Take care of problems before they become bigger problems. One day I realized something surprising. Money works the same way. Retirement planning is financial prevention. Small decisions today can completely change your future. So let me share my story with you, because I learned some important lessons along the way. When I was a young physician, I finally started earning a real paycheck. I remember feeling excited. After years of studying and training, I thought, now I can finally enjoy life. I bought nicer clothes. I upgraded my car. I ate out more often. I told myself I deserved it. And honestly, after all those years of hard work, I did. But I also kept telling myself something else. I'll start saving seriously later. Just a little later. Maybe next year. Maybe after my next raise. Maybe after things settle down. Then one afternoon, I was talking with an older physician at the clinic. He asked me a simple question. Leyla, are you contributing to retirement yet? I said, a little, but I have plenty of time. He smiled. Then he said something I never forgot. Time is the most valuable investment you will ever own. At the time, I did not fully understand what he meant. But years later, I did. Retirement is not only about how much money you save, it is also about how long your money has time to grow. Even small amounts can become surprisingly large when you give them enough time. That was the day I began realizing that starting early may matter even more than starting big. A few weeks after that conversation, I became curious. I sat down and started running numbers. I wanted to understand what that physician meant. I looked at a simple example. Suppose someone saves a small amount every month. Not thousands of dollars. Just consistent savings. Maybe the cost of eating out a few times. Maybe money from a part-time job. Maybe money from a future paycheck. Then I compared two people. One starts early. One waits 10 more years. I was shocked. The person who started earlier ended up with dramatically more money. Not because they were smarter. Not because they earned more. Not because they invested perfectly. They simply gave their money more time. That is when I discovered the power of compound growth. Money can begin earning returns. Then those returns can earn returns. Then those returns can earn more returns. Over time, growth starts building on itself. As a physician, I thought about it like preventive health. Small, healthy habits repeated for years can create huge benefits. Retirement savings can work the same way. Small decisions repeated consistently over long periods can create life-changing results. That was when I stopped thinking, I need to save huge amounts, and started thinking, I need to start. A few years later, I started asking myself a question that sounded simple. How much money will I actually need when I retire? At first, I thought the answer would be easy. I thought, when I retire, I will spend less. But then I started thinking more carefully. I would still need a place to live. I would still pay groceries. I would still pay insurance. I would still travel sometimes. And healthcare costs would probably increase. As a physician, I knew something important. People are living longer than before. Living longer is wonderful, but it also means your money may need to last much longer. I learned that retirement planning is not just picking a random dollar amount. You have to estimate future expenses. You have to think about inflation. You have to think about lifestyle choices. And you have to think about unexpected costs. I realized retirement is really a long-term plan. You are planning for a future version of yourself. And suddenly, retirement no longer felt like a distant idea. It started feeling very real. When I was younger, I had a very simple idea about retirement. I thought people worked for many years, then they retired, and somehow money just appeared every month. Later, I learned that retirement income usually comes from several different sources. Some people receive Social Security benefits. Some have employer retirement plans. Some build personal savings accounts. Some have investment accounts. And some even continue part-time work during retirement. I remember talking with a retired colleague from the medical field. I asked her, "So where does your retirement income come from?" I expected one answer. Instead, she started listing several sources. A little from one place, a little from another place, and another source after that. That conversation taught me something important. Retirement planning is usually not about depending on one thing. It is about building several streams of support. Just like doctors do not rely on one single test to understand a patient's health, retirement planning should not rely on one single source of income. Multiple sources can create more stability, and stability becomes very important later in life. As I continued learning, I discovered something I wish I had understood much earlier. Not all retirement savings work the same way. At first, I thought saving money was simply putting money somewhere and leaving it there. But then I learned about retirement accounts. I learned about employer plans like 401k accounts. I learned about personal retirement accounts called IRAs. And I learned something that immediately got my attention. Some employers actually contribute money too. I remember thinking, wait, they are helping add money to my retirement? That felt almost unbelievable. I realized that if an employer offers matching contributions, ignoring it can mean walking away from money that could help your future. I also learned that different accounts have different tax advantages. Some reduce taxes today. Some may provide tax benefits later. I did not need to memorize every rule immediately, but I understood the big idea. Retirement planning is not only about saving. It is also about knowing where you save, and understanding the tools available to you can make a very big difference over time. As I learned more about retirement planning, I made another discovery. Saving money is only part of the story. You also have to think about investing. When I was younger, I thought investing meant taking huge risks. I imagined people staring at stock prices all day and making stressful decisions. That never sounded appealing to me. But later I learned that retirement investing is usually a long-term process. People often adjust their investments based on age and goals. When you are younger, many people focus more on growth because they have more time ahead of them. Later in life, many people gradually shift towards stability and income. As a physician, this idea made sense to me. Different patients need different treatments at different stages of life. Financial planning can work the same way. The plan that fits a 20-year-old may not fit a 60-year-old. I realized retirement planning is not about chasing excitement. The goal is not simply taking more risk. The goal is finding the right amount of risk for your future. As I look back today at 62 years old, I sometimes think about the younger version of myself, the young medical student, the young physician, the person who believed there would always be more time. If I could sit down and give her advice, I would keep it simple. Start early. Start small if you need to, but start. Do not wait for the perfect salary. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait until retirement suddenly feels close. I learned that retirement planning is not really about becoming rich. It's about creating choices. It's about creating security. It's about giving your future self a better life. Remember the lessons from today. Time matters. Compound growth matters. Different income sources matter. Retirement accounts matter. And building a balanced plan matters. You do not need to figure out everything today. You only need to take the first step. I enjoyed sharing my experience with you. Take care of yourselves. Keep learning. And I will see you in the next video.